What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Unfiltered Garage. This is Abner and Ozzy from the pretty hot state of Florida. What's going on in Florida, bro?
Oh, it's hot, brother man. It is
It is
hot.
hot.
What's going on is it is hot. That's what's up.
Yeah, we're building
It's no joke.
an Alcatraz
No joke.
kind of stuff. We don't call it the rock, we call it the croc. That's how we're doing. We're doing in the state of Florida. I don't know where it's at though, but we're building something apparently, and the government is
Yeah,
building
it's
something in
over
there.
there. I think by kind of like by Tamiami Trail.
Oh yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, we need to ride there.
Yeah, just be careful with who you pick up. No hitchhikers. You
Most
never know.
definitely, most definitely, dude. So listen, today's episode is a practical one. I was being the kind of guy that, man, you have to appreciate what you got. You have to appreciate what you've been given. Right? And something that's how we grew up. Home we didn't have much, in a season of our life, so we can really appreciative of what we had. One of the things that the people in South Florida and in the state of Florida or Texas or any of these states on the south complain a lot is the heat during this season. And I get you. This is when people up in Montana. This is riding season for them, and this is when we ride the least. This is when we don't want to ride.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, we switch the way that we ride. We go in the morning and this kind of stuff. But Abner, it is proven that you can ride in the summer and you can do it right.
Oh
Because
yeah, for sure.
I have done it, right? So that's what we're gonna be talking today: hot roads and hot rides. And it's enjoying the summer, dude. Like I mean, preparing for the summer. We have some brothers that in April we did something that is called the gathering, and they rode down to Miami, and they were just when they were leaving their state up in Michigan. Bro, they had snow, and when they came back to their stay, also they have 2 3 inches of snow, and they were riding in those conditions. Now we have been invited to the gathering. The gathering next year is going to be in New York, and they told us we might have snow or we might have 60-degree or 80-degree weather. We don't know. So I said, hey, we're flying. Why? Because we don't know how to ride in those conditions. So a lot of times we just don't do it. We don't ride, or we just kind of like stay away from riding just because we don't know how to ride in those conditions, and that's what we're gonna be discussing here. Yep.
Yeah. You know what? I remember when we went to one of our first Daytonas, we weren't ready for the cold. In
Shut up,
that
bro.
sense,
That that
and
story
these are
that
the
story has been shared already, bro. Like we don't.
I know, but every time I remember us trying to get a $20 jacket to try to keep you warm, and trying to
Those
climb into the pizza oven later on. So this just goes to talk
in Old
about
Navy.
yeah, in Old Navy, of course. It just goes to talk about extremes, right? If you're not aware of what you're walking into, well, you're going to be surprised, and it might not be a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
However, what we're talking about today is about planning and for the hot weather or extreme weather. So, yes, definitely, it's very relevant and it's doable. Like you were
Because
saying, it's
it's
doable.
not on heat, right? Like we also battle humidity, which is it's part of the heat. Also, we battle tropical storms, or
Yeah,
it's those kind of conditions, right?
yeah.
Uh, Pretty nasty, gnarly winds, pretty gnarly rain, and you cannot see 3 feet. Yeah,
Blinding rain. You
blinding rain, that kind of
can't
situation.
see anything
You can see
right in
anything.
front of you. So
Yeah.
definitely extreme and it's sudden. So, you have to be prepared. You have to
You
be ready.
you don't have. So listen, let's talk about the dangers of summer, riding in summer. So I'm just gonna start with the obvious, right? So heat stroke, and it happens. I cannot tell you how many times we have gotten to a clubhouse, meaning that the riding was local, and some brother had to just no, I mean, it hasn't happened with my group, but it happened with a group that is close to us. Actually, your neighbor.
Yeah,
And yeah.
Chris.
So man, he was battling a heat stroke,
Mm.
and he had to sit outside. He was like fainting. He sit outside, and we just have to bring
It's
like
rough.
5 6 bottles of water and drop it on him. You know what's funny? He is an emergency room nurse, and he's also
Oh, yes.
so he kind of knows this, right? So,
Yeah.
but it
You know
gets
what?
you.
You may know about it, but again, right? It's the little things that we tend to forget.
Hmm.
We know so much, but we tend to forget it. And these are things that we have to be mindful of, and we cannot
Hmm.
give ourselves the luxury of forgetting.
So
Definitely.
with the heat, we have dehydration, and we have sunburn. Guys, sunburn is not cool. Is not a badge of honor, guys. I mean, I know you want to be toasted and you want to show how you know that your skin, but sunburn, guys, is going to suck. Sunburn sucks the water out, and any moist out of your skin, and you're gonna be dehydrated like it's super easy. And fatigue, man, because when it's hot. This is the reality. You have to stop more often. You are tired more often. How about the next one? Do you want to
Yeah,
talk
no.
about the next one?
So we can't forget that it's not only us. We're riding on our machines, right? So the heat will also affect our machines. We're talking about hot pavement. Our tires heat up. Our engines they heat up. And hot pavement. Just remember, it reduces traction. So before you know it, you're slipping and sliding on the road, and you're like, "What's going on? It's not raining. It's just that the extreme hot, the extreme heat." Will also have that effect. And all of a sudden, you're trying to, hit the brakes and you're just slipping and sliding all over the place. You go to put your foot on the ground and your boots are slipping and sliding. Extreme heat, that's part of it. And again, our engines. If you're not blessed with the opportunity to have either an oil temperature sensor or anything that will kind of give you the idea of what's going on with your motor, prepared for some damage. Before you know it, your clutch is boiling and your clutch is slipping now, and you're like, "Well, what's going on?" Extreme
The
heat
brake, the real
conditions,
brake,
brakes,
the
everything,
brakes too, all the brakes too.
hydraulics, anything that has
Whatever is hydraulic,
hydraulics. Yes,
everything that is hydraulic is gonna suffer.
yeah,
And I don't know if that happened to you, but in occasions I had to stop the Harley, especially the Dyna, just stop at the side of the road and let her cool off and just kind of start dumping water on the engine.
yeah,
5, 6 bottle of water to just kind of help her cool off because
yeah,
and that doesn't do much to it. And luckily I was close to a gas station and they have water in there and I was just kind of like putting water into it.
yeah,
So yeah, so how about more traffic, man, more distracted drivers and more tourists. This is something that when it's summer, people are out and about. People wants to be on this road. People are going to be if you're traveling from one town to another town, rest assured you're gonna find someone singing "Old MacDonald Had a Farm" and being completely distracted and just kind of like playing games and
yeah,
and it's real. There's more people on the road when we're summer, and if you're going to a destination that is very popular, be ready. The traffic is gonna be brutal. Be
yeah.
ready for that.
Yes, that is
So,
absolutely true. That is very accurate.
so
Going down to
I
anything
don't know
like
if
that,
you
it's bananas.
I don't know if you had the opportunity to cross I-4, which is the one that crosses the state of Florida in Central Florida, and from Daytona all the way to Tampa. If you have had the opportunity to cross that during summer,
Mm.
dude, it's
No,
like
I haven't. I haven't.
okay, it's like they're paying people to be there.
Mm.
And the something that you might do, and this is something that we're gonna discuss later, right? But you're gonna have to do that journey. Make sure you do it in the pretty early in the morning. Like I mean,
Yes.
4
Yes.
o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. That you cross those intersections or those interstates at that time, bro, because it's really brutal. And everybody's going to the park, and everybody's going to Disney, or everybody's going to to Tampa. Everybody's going somewhere, and the traffic can be forever. Can be forever. It's a traffic. I have been caught in I-4 traffic around summer, around 6, 7 p.m., which is when people are leaving the parks. I can tell you, it's not fun, dude. It's not fun at all.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, and that's something that now that you mentioned that, planning is a huge part of everything that we're talking about today. Planning is huge.
Yeah.
And you can't plan enough. Sometimes we talk about people that over plan and they want to cross out all the I's, they want to dot all the I's, cross out all the T's and everything. When it comes to extreme riding conditions, it will be super important that you plan it out. Proverb says that the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. We're not talking money. We're talking about your health, your motorcycle, your group, your friends, whoever you're riding with. That's what we're talking about. Abundance would be safety. Poverty is having, running into calamity. So definitely when you mention planning, plan those rides early in the morning. You can kind of nowadays with technology and I'm not sure if we talk about this a little bit further, but now that you
Yeah, we're gonna
mentioned
talk about this a little
right.
further.
So yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, it's so important to plan. Plan
it's
more. It's better to
it's extremely
plan more
important.
and yeah. Go ahead, man.
No,
Let's
no,
let's
no, nobody. Listen, man. I am an over planner to certain
tell
extent.
me about it.
To certain extent, but dude, I'm a try that because when you plan and when you have everything on a scale, and you can have room for breakups. You have room. You're allowing for these kind of
Yeah,
situations to happen.
sure.
So listen, and I'm going to be debunking some myths in here. So we're gonna be how can we mitigate the danger of riding in summer and in these conditions? So a couple things we can gear up, right? So proper gear is extremely important, right? Proper gear
It
is
is.
extremely important. You and I we ride in a motorcycle organization, so therefore we have to wear leather or some sort of vest, right? That when you put patches on, it's called a cut, right? But you can have different version of it. Talk to me about yours. How many you got?
I have two. I think that every rider, every member of an organization should have perhaps a bare minimum of two. One
Mm-hmm.
for summer, one for winter. For
Mm-hmm.
summer, I use a canvas vest. It's a little bit lighter than the
Mm-hmm.
leather.
A lot
It's
lighter than leather.
is and it
A lot
also
lighter.
it does give me a little bit of protection
Protection,
from
yes,
the
sir.
weather, right? It's tough if Lord willing I don't have to go down. That's not on my plans, but it is, it's kind of tougher, but it also gives me a little bit protection from the rain.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't drench up like a denim. A lot of people like to have the denim. Denim is very lightweight, which is good, but when it rains, and in Florida it rains a lot, even in summer, a little bit more than other seasons. So the canvas gives me a little bit of protection. I know that you got something really nifty. What are you
Yeah.
rocking right now?
So listen. Just kind of to make a difference because I had a denim. You always have the canvas. I had a denim one, and the denim. What the problem with it when it rains? Okay. Why is important for us to have a lightweight cut when you're riding in summer or in heat conditions in very hot weather conditions because every single ounce counts. It is going to add into the exhaustion. You believe
Yeah.
it or not, it is going to add into that, right? It's going to add into your fatigue. It's going to add into that. But I believe you choose the right material because then when it rains, what happens is that gets extremely damp
Soaked.
and it's completely soaked and it's getting the moisture out of it is difficult. So now you bought something that is really light, but you're riding with something that is really heavy,
Yeah.
and it's a sauna. That is what it is.
Mm,
It's a sauna inside. So
yeah.
all that humidity is inside, and you are doing a disservice to yourself. So you
You're
did
cooking.
the right thing.
You're
Yeah,
you're cooking. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're a clam bake.
Definitely. But if not, you can always go if you really enjoy leather and you love the protection of leather that it gives you against road rash. You can do what you did, which was the perforated leather, and a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
people are enjoying that.
Yeah, I got to prefer later one, and it's shorter, it's smaller, and it is way more comfortable, and it is my all the time. That's what I use. Word of advice: doesn't do anything if it's raining. It's just gonna get the rain. Doesn't protect you if it's raining at all,
It's
because actually it's
perforated.
it's perforated, so it's gonna let all the water in. But I don't mind the water in because the same way that the water comes in as you're riding, and what happens in Florida is
To
that
dry
the
up.
next 10 miles, it's gonna be sunny and beautiful. You dry out exactly the same. It is not great in winter when you don't dry out because I'm being in 60-degree temperatures. For us, it's winter in South Florida.
Well,
For us, that's
60
really,
degrees on a bike, it can be 50. It could be,
yeah. So that's cold
depending
for
on how
us in
fast
South
you're
Florida.
going.
And sir, let me tell you something. I regret it so much. I regret it so much because I don't. It's in summer we don't really use. I don't carry
The
rain
hoodies.
gear. No, I don't
Yeah.
carry rain
Oh, the
gear.
rain
Like
gear. Yeah.
no, because once again, it's a sauna, right? Like I mean, you're gonna. This is the humidity is gonna cook you inside. So yeah, so that's important, man. Having layers, having a ventilated helmet, having riding gloves and that kind of stuff. People think that gloves and a long sleeve shirt, one of those moisture wicking layers, they think that you're gonna cook inside. No, sir. They are protecting you from the sun. They protect you from the sun. A helmet protects you from the sun, and I learned this. I didn't believe the science behind it. Mythbuster, do you remember Mythbuster?
Yeah.
So Mythbuster proved me wrong. I didn't believe the science behind it, dude. I mean, a helmet having a lid in your head is going to help you. Now, it has to be one of those ventilators. Don't get your helmet in Timu. Get a good one. Listen, get a. I mean, if you get a black, you know what's gonna happen. If you have one that is white, it's gonna help you a little bit more, right? With the weather conditions. But get a helmet. Have a helmet. Have gloves. Something that covers your skin because your skin is exposed to the elements, and it's
Yes.
really important that you protect your skin, protect yourself.
There's something really important. A lot of people, especially here in Florida, they kind of feel like, oh, well, I want to ride with the tank top. I want to ride sleeveless. And they get into this thing about, oh, well, it's so hot. Let me dress down. Let me read something real quick about dressing down and why is it better to wear long sleeves in hot weather. It says that while it may seem counterintuitive, long sleeves can actually help to shield your skin from direct sunlight, which you were talking
Mhm.
about, reducing the risk of overheating. By creating a barrier between your skin and the sun rays, long sleeves can help regulate your body temperature and keep you feeling cooler in hot weather. So it's something that it's kind of counterintuitive because you would think, oh, let me dress down, let me have the run sleeveless because I want to have the wind
Mhm.
going against me and whatnot. But the truth is that the sun will cook you,
It will cook you.
and all that, the sweat will evaporate. You're going to dehydrate much more quicker. So definitely have that in mind. And there's you can, if you don't want to ride with whatever regular long sleeves, you can get the fishing gear, the like the dry fit stuff. A lot of people love those, and those are highly customizable. If you have a
Yeah, yeah,
crew and
yeah.
you want to have your name on the sleeves, you can have that done. It's
You can
fairly
make it. You
economic.
can make it look awesome. Yeah, that's
Oh
that's
yeah, no, for
that's
sure,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Just where listen. Something else that people think that, and this is me. This was me. That riding in sneakers, Vans, or Converse, is the way to go because
Mm.
my God, is they're fresher. Yeah, man, they're fresher when you're on the boat. They're fresher when you're on a bicycle. They're fresher when you're not exposed to the elements like we do. Let someone else's skin, which is boots, leather boots, get that heat from the motorcycle. Get the heat from the pavement. You're not protecting from at that point. You're not protecting yourself from the sun. You're protecting yourself from the heat that is coming from the engine, that is coming from the motor, it's coming from the pavement. And let me tell you something. Some breathable boots are important. This is something that you should have. You should have every every rider should have. And by the way, you can have just one pair of boots, man, and they're going to help you in summer and in winter. They can help you in both situations. If
Yeah.
you they're not so great for winter, let your body put those socks or something like that. But have a good pair of boots, man, and something that protects you. I know you and I were kind of like we're brand driven in this, or we have certain style, not a
Yeah.
brand, but we have a certain style that we like. Some boots I am using more often cowboy boots. I can tell you guys, I mean, love cowboy boots. I love my cowboy boots. They are not great for when it rains, they're a bucket of water. The ones that I use, the bronze style, those motorcycle boots are amazing, dude. For
Yeah, I want to share, I want to throw out some names, and we are definitely not being sponsored by them. I wish we were. But for leather gear, you can go to First Manufacturing Company, phenomenal leathers.
not super expensive at all. Very
No,
affordable.
they're affordable, they're durable. I mean, I
They
wish
last
they
forever,
were.
man.
I wish they were sponsoring us. They're not, and I would highly recommend them. That's all I've been using the same cut for about 6 years. Never had a problem. That's First Manufacturing Leather, and then for boots, I go to Brunt brunt work boots. They're phenomenal. I have two colors. I use the mock toe kind of boot. I believe it's
The composite,
yeah. Yes, they're composite. They're the
the
composite
composite.
toe. It's not steel toe. So, you can
They're
listen,
amazing.
these boots so good that you can use them for work, you can use them
Yes.
for I use them for everything. I
And they
have
look
2
good, Abner. If you need to
Yeah,
go
oh,
to,
they're
if
very
you, I mean, we're talking to Christians here. If you need to go to church, you're not gonna look homeless. I have
No.
Harley boots that are pretty similar to those. Use, just pretty similar to those, and Red Wings shoes, boots as well. They're amazing. It's an investment. It's an
Yes.
investment like anything else, but it's an investment on your safety, right? So
Oh, for sure.
perhaps don't buy the cam this summer. Perhaps don't put more power and try to invest a little bit on gear, right? So because everybody wants to go faster, but this is just that. Okay. So something
Yeah.
else, man, that I wanted to that we want to mention here is we know we're learning how to manage gear now, how to manage ourselves, right? So tips on staying fuel and hydrated, which is extremely important. So I can tell you something that I don't do, and people think, man, I love coffee. I
Mm,
I have to have coffee first thing in the morning. And I love coffee. Otherwise, I'm not gonna wake up, man. It's hard for me to wake up. So you know what I do? I don't drink coffee in summer. When I'm riding in summer, I don't drink coffee. Why? Because coffee dehydrates you like there's no tomorrow. I had a coffee just recently, and I'm just drinking water like there's no tomorrow because that's something that it happened. So stay hydrated before the ride. You're gonna ride in an hour. Drink water like there's no, because you're not gonna drink water until you stop, until the first stop. Um, Drink water when you get out of the motorcycle, when you stop for gas, and make sure it's not just a gas stop, it's a hydration stop. Drink a lot of water, and when you're done, drink water. When
yeah.
you're done, drink water. Keep on drinking water. This is not soda. This is not energy drinks. This is not Celsius. This is not none of that. This is water, right?
Yeah. And you know what? This is where the planning and being intentional comes in to play. Like you were saying, you have to have a pre-game or pre-ride plan, which is I'm going to hydrate from the get-go, during, and for those that have the cup holders on your bike, use them. Please, it's important. And if you have to have a camel pack, one of those, have it, whatever it takes, please. And also, you cannot be fearful or try to avoid the fact that, well, the more water you drink, you're gonna have to go to the bathroom, and that's fine, right? Because a lot of people, they don't like to drink too much because then they have to go to the bathroom. That's fine. Make the bathroom pit stops part of your hydration plan. Yes, you'll have to go maybe perhaps to the bathroom a little bit more, but that's just another opportunity to drink, to rest, to maybe cool off, let the bikes cool off, get yourself into a shady spot, maybe get into the AC at the gas station, whatever, and hydrate. Not only water, but anything that has electrolytes. We're talking Gatorades,
Gatorade,
we're talking Powerades,
power
anything
Gatorade.
that has electrolytes. That is super
Yeah,
important. There's products that you can even add to regular water if you
to
just
regular
want
water.
to.
Yes, sir. Yes,
If
sir.
you don't like the flavors of
The sugar, whatever's the case.
all that good stuff. And mind you, I'm a diabetic, so I know about the Gatorade Zero, the Powerade Zero, all that. There are options. You have to make sure that you're, just going out there looking for whatever works for you, for your situation, but please be smart about it. Um, you know,
People that say people
God,
said, I'm like, no, I'm just drinking another beer because it's so hot outside.
diuretic. That's a diuretic.
Not only that, dude, alcohol helps with dehydration. Actually,
Dehydration,
a
yes.
hangover, what it is dehydration. It's an extreme
Yeah.
dehydration. When people have a hangover, what it is extreme dehydration. So alcohol accelerates that process. So just put it in there. So it will be silly, no, but people does it. But still, that's what we do. Hey, something that you and I do. Snacks. We keep snacks on. I have a motorcycle helmet, and you use a brain bucket.
Yeah.
So it gives us the opportunity that when we're riding and we have stopping, we just can grab some snacks and put it on our mouth, right? So this is by snacks. We're talking about something a little bit fatty, something with a little bit protein that that is going to help you. Something with peanuts, something like
Nuts, almonds, whatever,
almonds, that
trail
kind of
mix.
stuff. Yeah, trail mix, that kind of stuff. I put some sugar on my stuff because sugar gives me energy. So when I'm riding and it's a long distance riding, I am going to have something trail mix or something like that that has some sugar on it, and because it's gonna help me give energy. I avoid when I'm riding, trying to avoid sodas and that kind of stuff. So I get my sugar from soda.
Yeah. I'm gonna share my secret. Peanut
Yes, sir.
M&Ms.
There you go. Peanuts
That
M&M.
is 2 or 3 or 4. That's more than enough to keep me good on sugar and
40
good on the
miles,
protein.
50 miles.
Yeah, for sure, for
For
sure.
sure, for sure.
They're very good. They're very
It's
good.
funny. It's funny because it's funny. I got into a science. 3, 4 Phoenix M&Ms give me 50 miles of solid focus and in good riding. Yeah, that I can guarantee you.
Definitely.
You go to my Rogla. You open the lid of the fair. You're gonna see box of.
I always have it on faith
Yeah,
right there, and
it
it's
is
easy.
important. It's easy to grab. It's easy to put in your hands. You don't have to put that sucker in cruise control and just get 4 of those in your mouth. That's it, man. You're ready to go. Something else, man, that is helped mitigate all the dangers is and this is where where we want to get mental focus and a plan is important, right? And so why mental focus? Because fatigue is a real thing, and summer heat drains you faster. You are just thinking about your focus is not into the destination. Your focus is not in what you have to do to keep your skills. Your focus is on how can you make it faster to your destination. I have shared this with the audience before. When I'm tired, I become stupid. My focus in make it get faster, and when it's hot and you're just having your motorcycle in a constant uh 5,000 RPMs all the time, she's going to break sooner. How do I know this? I broke my motorcycle coming from Leesburg because I was riding like that, and I had to. I mean, we made it home, but she wouldn't start after that. So I had to take it, and I blew the clutch on the motorcycle. Just
There you
I'm
go.
a couple gaskets, yeah, right, because I was riding like that.
You messed around and found out.
Yeah, yes, yeah, 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 absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So that is the kind of stuff that happened, right? So, and you were saying about rest stops. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, you know what? So when you plan your ride and you kind of stick to that, and be mindful. You don't have to be. Although you know that you like to plan, and we were talking about the importance of being mindful and intentioning on your planning. Understand that your body is going to be the best barometer on how you're feeling and what you're feeling. Right? If you have a schedule, that's fine, but if your body's telling you can't go another 50 miles, then stop, rest, look for the opportunity to hydrate, do whatever you need to do, and then you will be able to make up the time and make it work. The time of the day that you decide on leaving is going to be a huge, huge part of the success of your trip. I usually like to go early in the morning because it may be even dark yet outside, but I get to put more miles in that cooler weather. During the peak hours of the day when that sun is burning like it's no tomorrow, that's maybe a good time for a prolonged break period for some rest. Your bike gets an opportunity to kind of cool down. So your tires will in good shape. You get time, you eat some, then, if you can, you go in the afternoon. Once again, you get to put more miles. Just be smart about what you're doing and making sure that you're planning things and you're sticking to that. You're listening to your body. And one of the things that I did when we were going to California, Critter and I, you know, because we're talking about extremes, we would also sometimes see weather, talking about rain, possible tornadoes, stuff like that. You have to be mindful of what's out there. And if you need to change your route completely, go further down south or maybe go up north, you have a moment, take the moment, plan it out, look at your map, and make it. You know what? I think that what's most important is that you reach your final destination. If earlier, fine. If later, it's just as good. What you
And
want to make sure is that you get there safely. That's what's most importantly because you have
that's
people waiting for you.
pretty cool, man. And that is, let's talk about certain apps, right? So I use and I don't have a specific one. They change so often that, but I use a radar. And I use a radar, and the radar
Mhm.
tells me, how long is this storm gonna be in the area, right? What kind of storm do I have coming in the area? And the radar not only gives me a rain, but also gives me wind speed and that kind of stuff. So that helps you adjust the speed that you're riding. When you have wind gusting 40 miles hours plus, man, it's not safe to be out there. You need to adjust the way that you're riding, which means that you need to ride a little bit slower and be mindful of that. Be mindful of that you might have a projectile coming your way. If you're riding through a field, farms and that kind of stuff, you most certainly you're gonna have projectiles coming your way, and that is breeding grounds for other stuff or other type of storms, right? Use maps, right? Like there is 10,000 maps application. I don't like the Harley one, I really don't. And but there is ways. There is this Google Maps. It does a fantastic job helping you plan the route because it gives you different options. It's very visual, and you can say, hey, I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go this way. And you can zoom in, you can decide going to contour, country routes, and you can find gas stations along the way where you can camp if you need to for certain time, right? You can if you're gonna go to a small gas station, you probably won't have a lot of services in there, but if you go to those big gas stations,
Yeah.
Lowe's,
Love's Pilot. God forbid you find yourself a Bucky's, forget about it. You can
Buckets, you
stay
can
there
camp in there. You can stay
for a
there
week.
forever.
A
Yeah,
week.
they won't find
Absolutely.
you. If you find a wow, you're probably gonna have a dinner in there because the food is fantastic. So that kind of
Yeah.
stuff are important, man. So listen, group ride. How do we handle this situation when we're riding with a group, right? So I'm just gonna something that I don't have in here is and I just told my VP, man, uh, we're not he was like, hey, where are we riding this month? We have an open ride every single month, right? So we're people that are interested and you want to get to know us a little bit more, and they're welcome to come to this open ride. And I said, I don't know where we're going, but what I'm telling you is that I'm not riding more than 40 miles, and I'm only riding in the morning or in the evening. So you said where we're going, but that's I don't care if we're going to La Carreta, but that's where the only place that we're going to go. So when you're riding, you need to keep on looking from the brothers behind you. Keep on looking from signals. I ride with some brothers that they suffer diabetes, and diabetes and heat. They are not a great combination. You know this.
Yeah.
You need to be really careful, and you need to be really mindful, and you need the consumption. If you have a type 1 diabetes, you have to take care of that in a different way. Sugar can plummet down really quick. So keep on looking for your brothers, man. Keep on checking on your brothers. Do it more often. Don't assume that they're doing good just because they're keeping up with you. They're keeping up with you just because they don't want to stay behind, but just keep on checking on them, man. Unless you're rock captain or your tail gunner to kind of go and check on the guys and just kind of pass the pack and just regular thumbs up, right? What else, bro?
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna say something real quick. You know that when God at a certain time asked Cain where his brother was, and his answer was, "Am I my brother's keeper?" And
Oh,
we are our brother's keeper.
yes, we are.
We don't question that fact. We are our brother's keeper, and in that, we have to understand. I have a condition. I'm a diabetic type 2. Pills, not no insulin, but still, I do have a condition. The people around me, my brothers, my sisters, they know I have that condition. I know who has a condition that could be affected by, weather or whatever it is. If they've seen that I haven't eaten, they're gonna tell me, "Are you good? How are you feeling?" Right? It's super important that we be open with the people that we ride with because this is not the group of people that you want to have secrets from. Okay. When it comes to this, it's not about just sharing whatever it is, but in this case, sharing is caring because if you go down because your sugar crashed and somebody's behind you, they're not all of a sudden going to be able to maybe maneuver and not, have an accident also. So
Hmm.
yes, sharing is caring. Let them know if you have a condition. If you're not feeling up to snuff 100%, let them know. I'm feeling kind of funky. I think I need to stop. Don't be afraid to be the one that says, "Yo, I need to tap out for a quick minute. I need to rehydrate." Don't be the strong guy, because if something happens, and then it's your fault, wow, that's gonna really make you feel really bad. So please make sure that everybody's aware of anything that might be a problem, and just rely that they're going to help you. It's not just so that you're telling them something. No, it's something that you're sharing
Hmm.
with, because they're going to be able to watch for you. They're going to be
Hmm.
able to keep you and make sure that you're going to go home safely and soundly back to your family. So having said that, we have to be mindful of what does exhaustion look like? What are the symptoms? If the person all of a sudden he's looking very pale, very white, they're incoherent, they're talking kind of crazy, they're kind of
They're
stumbling.
staying behind. They're staying behind. You notice that
You
they're
see a
staying behind,
zigzag, you see stuff
zigzagging. They cannot keep on, a formation. That is
that
exhaustion. That's something.
immediately you have to make an effort to try to nip that in the bud. Please be mindful. We can't just, everybody loves to get into their music. I understand that. But you know what? Be mindful. I love to give the thumbs up. Every once in a while, I'll do it. It doesn't matter. I see everybody fine. I just want to make sure. And I'll
That
throw the
everybody's right.
thumbs up, thumbs up,
You do
thumbs
not
up.
want this is yeah. You do not want to assume this, Abner. Absolutely.
No,
But
this
I
is
be,
something that you do not want to assume.
yeah, you don't want to assume. I think you covered this one, bro. Like the group ride, and what to do in group rides, man. So listen, recapping. Heat and these conditions are really are a thing, guys. Is This is important for you to understand, and you need to gear up and have the proper gear. You need to stay fuel and hydrated. You need to have mental focus, and you need to plan when you so you can be aware of, you can deal with the conditions. But more importantly to me is that you have to do you need to understand that you are with others, and that you need to check on them. You are your brother's keeper, and that's the way that it is. Anything
Right.
else, Amner, that we're leaving
Uh,
behind today?
you know what, man? This has really, really nothing to do with the trips, but understand the following, fam. We are all in a journey, and we're preparing for extreme conditions while riding in the summer. But I want you guys to understand the following. In life, there's always extreme conditions, and we're talking about just regular life. Make sure that you're looking out for your peeps. Make sure that you're touching base, that you're, as we go along in life, that you're making sure that they're doing well. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the motorcycle ride, but people get exhausted. They start to look weary. They start to look like they need some help. They start to look like they're going through it. You know what? Take a minute and say, "Hey, how you feeling? What's going on? Is there something I can help you with?" We're not talking about crashing and burning on a bike. We're talking about crashing and burning in life. If we call ourselves brothers and sisters, and we love each other and we love our neighbor, do that. That is what we are called to do also. So nothing to do with the ride, just has to do with life and the love of Christ that we have for each other. Make sure that your people are doing well. Make sure that they're doing okay, and keep tabs on them, and make sure that you can do anything possible, anything within your power to help them as we go along. That's it. That's all I have.
Sounds good, man. Hey guys, short one today, but good one, important. I think that I hope this helped you guys, especially new writers. I know a lot of people that listen to this podcast, they've been writing for a while, and they know all these things.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of
I'd,
new writers,
I'd
a lot
love
of
to
new
hear
writers.
stories. I'd love to
Yeah,
hear
share
stories of
stories, share
people that have
stories.
had extreme stories, something that you've gone through, and yeah, share it, share it. Let us know how you were able to make it out alive from the
Yes, sir.
extreme conditions, weather, rain, water, hot, heat, whatever it is. Share it.
Yes, sir.
Share it.
Share it.
Let us know.
Thank you, guys. Like and subscribe. Share with someone else. That's it. That's it for today, guys. Talk to you guys
Peace
later.
out.
Peace out.